to cry and say it was a slip. No, in the mama who near ma Dr. Mary Awusi na ankasa timi ye. Nti enye slip or she's on a trajectory. Ade a oye. Okasa o complicate amanfo kofa amanfo de ombe wurawura mu a mu hia.
You don't know these streets like we do.
Staff house is here. NDC. Amayoku no still no mo sensemo. You say Julius Debra did his 60th birthday over the weekend. Presidential. Ono ye chief of staff. Onye presidential staffer. Oye chief of staff. Openyu Julius Debra. Hey, in some way, Julius Debra did the birthday, no. I'm saying for Iowa Pentecost Church. The chairman of the Pentecost Church, Apostle Eric Nyame. Not all around now. The Pentecost Church, was say omo emfa boni. Oba Dr. Mary Awusi arboni awedi no omfanche na de ntia no stress ade ni nyina no na ne kese ni nyina agina so se ensema Dr. Mary Awusi ekokan he abra oko Accra FM no odi ni nkomo na ensema okokan ho no ensem bi a amwa ogu Pentecost Church ehu fi in the first place. Secondly, ebisa ko Apostle Eric Nyame, the chairman of the Pentecost Church. And unti osre say Boniface pa with your Pentecost Church efan channel na openye Eric Nyame che Apostle Eric Nyame che so emfa boni nche na in addressing it or addressing na na say esu enso ye dey ennemu openye kana na fi ni su soon say ta say video no wa penny for money na fi phantom now. And then in my editorial on the issue now, I want us to dive and look a little bit into problem na anka say free hin by the entire Openyi Julius Debra ekosu in free hin by Openyi Julius Debra so me try some address and soon issues kakra in a more professional way so in another part of it. Now, Dr. Mary Awusi, Free Zones Authority for CEO. Just like any of the other CEOs, government owned and I say government state owned businesses, she's earning quite a lot. Salary as the last time I tell you about CEOs, Ghana salaries, na yemshi kakra. EBJ. As low as 70,000 Ghana cedis a month. Where as low. As low as 70,000 Ghana cedis a month. Omo je kete pa 700 million bosome. Omo say omo adodo de wo ho no. Eno kura nya mai. Enticement ne me wo ho no kura nya mai. Dr. Mary Awusi ekasa ankrofo no. Na he no free anyhow and a political strategy etie. He no free the political strategy net to say. How well is she able to connect with voters? If you ask me in recent times, the idea why is here, idea ba ku betimi aha NDC, but NDC also tries a quite be as one betimi a class idea and a free ho. But that's neither here or there. Because ebia enya webe wo no yentwaso ye dey yetu ase pacho mi sisu biem yesi ebia enya webe wo no yentwaso ye dey yetu ase nti se NDC for ehwem ye na anwumre a omo metu omo ho asi wo se omo de omo ye NDC amayokuofo omo ye NDC omo asem bia ba omo dwene ho ewo NDC omo she NDC space no omo de dwene ho no. Dr. Mary Awusi a subject of interest, and she will always be a subject of interest. Kopim say, because I mean, him say Pentecost Church opinion and Kasaba Bijna Kasu Adi who you fan Chani. We bet to catch yourself as some near fancha, but none moon now in the Kopim say elections never drew on young mafia or Pentecost Church for Nitrimuda. Somebody a chepa na election day 2028 in yebehu. But Dr. Mary Awusi, she's known as Obia loose talker of the year. Loose talker of the year. Oh, NDC. Me, Sam George Freewa. Sam George, who say there. I ain't channel. Ningo pram ya the beb. Obede number 1. Obede bakupe. Sam George will be intimate no. Dr. Mary Awusi twaso. Me baba series of videos. I'm how loose a talker she is. Eti Julius Zabayaka say, oh, it was a slip. And ya slip oh. Slip there. Slip there say obi a oh. Obi on can be that no one's wa can't there ba kubi no say oh. Debi. We the enfant channel. Debi. Ono de nti sa. A constant from election time. From election. Eba. Na metima ko dig kura sa ko yi bi kura free chiri kura sa aba. Do you know, said Dr. Mary Awusi once called a former vice president and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party as Obia Oye autistic? Do you monte da on? Monte da. Okay. Nana chwe twa hene. Bo video no briefly. Niente.
Bobby answer ade ba ku bi na ma notice wo ba home aho. Etie for mfrenche no. Se manka ne ya. But ade a me de as a researcher na na say we always want to find out, we want to explore. Ba umia me hu signs of autism wo ba umia. How? Bobby answer ade ba ku bi na ma notice wo ba home aho. Etie for mfrenche no. Se manka ne ya. But ade a me de as a researcher na say we always want to find out, we want to explore. Baumia me hu signs of autism wo baumia. How?
Yeah, I mean we can do a lot of about music jokes. I do a lot of about music jokes. But to narrow it down and talk about a specific health condition, granted, Bamia you're autistic, granted, assuming without admitting, granted. Don't you think, say, Obi with that health condition, waiting me rise it through to study economics to that level? Waiting me rise it through to assume the second most important position in the land as the second gentleman? Waiting me rise it to be the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party? Don't you think, said that is another person is a beacon of hope for people living with autism? Don't you think that? Don't we have people living in Ghana with that health condition? This is Dr. Mary Awusi. Dear Julius Zabayaka said it was just a slip. No? This is her proud to the election. Loose talker of the year. Mami nini? Mami nini? NCO. Nana Jojo Majoini. NCA, more. Maybe more. Kase more. Oh, maybe more. Mr. Kase more. Okay, Yanko. I'm on fire. This is another video of Dr. Mary Awusi. Na yebekwaso ha we ne yebekwaso to bo ase na me wo se me ma preamble no me ma said ye be ya obete text na ase wo hwe video na obete ase. There's a certain lady by the name Rosemond Obeng. Rosemond Obeng no person o kire me say oye former personal assistant to nice one me da say. Former personal assistant to Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Na before election e be ba so no edifecte ye ofri MPP eba NDC. Na obaye no information odi free ho baye no ene nsema obekain no ebi na me ba beboyi Number one, or say, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, you'll be indecisive when to mean take a decision. Now, I realize that because working closely with him, there were times that leadership, and I said there were situations that proper leadership was tested, and I realize say Bawumia any leader. Let's watch this video. That film, the Dr. Mary Awusi and Sama loose talk be and how that loose talk could affect certain businessmen or certain key people within the NDC.
I work closely with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as his personal assistant at his campaign office. So I worked with him.
And what was that like?
Well, at the initial stage, it was cool. We all had it in this country, the economic messiah, the economic whiskey. So I was excited to have the opportunity to work closely with him, book his appointment at the campaign office, sit in his meetings and write his minutes, serve him his coffee, his food, and whatever he may assign me to do. And also did travel sometimes with him. So it was very exciting, I would say. But along the line, I realized Dr. Bawumia lacked leadership. He was not just my boss. He was like a father to me. At a point in time, an incident happened at the office. But I will not go into details now. I won't go into details. But with the approach to that particular situation, I realized it lacked leadership. I realized that.
What was the approach?
His approach lacked boldness, firmness, fairness, and courage.
Really?
And these are essential qualities of any good leader.
But there's a leader who is saying he has bold solutions, for the people of Ghana. You are saying he lacked boldness in taking decisions at his office?
He cannot. I came to the conclusion that with what happened, he's easily manipulated and dictated to.
Really?
It's sad, but people control Dr. Bawumia.
Seriously?
People tell him what to do. And it's sad that a leader will not have an opinion of his own. It's sad.
This is the vice president of the country we're talking about.
Well, he holds the position, but who is he when it comes to his leadership style? That is what we are talking about.
What did you see at the office which is making you jump, or should I say arrive at this?
I would say, I will still not go into the issues. I know you're trying to push me. But with his approach, when it comes to solving issues, putting his foot down when it matters the most, pulling the bull by the horn, correcting people when they are misbehaving. He cannot even correct a group of about 10 people working around him when some are misbehaving. So it saddens my heart that people will think he can handle the affairs of our beautiful country of over 32 million people. I don't think Dr. Bawumia can. He will be overwhelmed. Ghana will not be safe under Dr. Bawumia's leadership. And I'm not going to mince words because people need to know it. I have had a personal experience so they can make an informed choice. It's as simple as that.
Did something happen between you and Dr. Bawumia? Was there a beef? Was there an incident? Are you bitter about something?
No, there's no
saying
beef.
that the vice president of the country, flag bearer of the MPP, who was chosen overwhelmingly by delegates as the man to lead us, you are sitting here saying that this is not a leader who is fit.
Why am I saying that he is not the right person for the country? Because that is really what the situation is. And if I can say what I know to help Ghanaians to make an informed choice, why should I keep quiet when it matters the most? Because we need critical leadership. And I know that my former boss and father cannot offer that.
That is somebody who is head of the economic management team.
And what was the performance?
Who has been at the helm of affairs, dealing with, issues surrounding the economy, among other things. That's why the president brought him in, because the president believed in him, and the president believes that he has delivered. And you think otherwise.
And that has reflected in the result. Bad leadership gives us bad outcome and bad output, bad performance. We will not lie to ourselves. We are all in this country. Before 2016, Dr. Bawumia was making rounds. He was in our faces, Ashasi University, Central University, talking about how weak the economy is. Because that was the only role the president expected him to do. It was about the CD. The CD was about 3.8 or let's say 4 CD. But that was very bad as at that time. Recently, he had a media presser. He said what he said then was true is now true as well.
About the fundamentals being.
But exactly, but we cannot come to this conclusion. You see that dishonesty. He's not a consistent leader as well.
And you saw that when you were working with him in his office.
I saw that. It's sad, but that is really, I saw that. The economy, he's performed abysmally. And Ghanaians will be making a choice based on what has happened with the economy. He said we are suffering. Do you remember, Lantam? You remember?
That he's far better than Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, whom you work closely with.
Mr. Lantam, I've already told you about the leadership style, which will come to play. That is very important to Ghanaians. He provides a very compelling alternative, coupled with experience. He's talking about advocating for a very responsive government to the decay in the system when it comes to corruption. He's talking about jobs. And it's evident during his time and now, the unemployment rate has risen. So it's high from 8% to 14%. And I even love when I hear the MPP and my former boss throwing figures around that they've created jobs, 2.6 million jobs, and they intend to create more when given the nod.
Have they not done that? There's been planting for food and jobs.
TESCOM members in the party, that is the youth in our party. If indeed we've created jobs, how come about 98% of TESCOM members don't have jobs? They've been jobless for the past 8 years, 7 years, 6 years. I work closely with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as his personal assistant, as his campaign officer.
Okay. Auntie Rosino no. Or cansem akese na faji akra. Or cansem or the akra. Former aide to Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and Okan in Sem. Okay. Yanko swear. Obeka sansem we no. Jojo matwa hinensi wo. Die no share na chi e ma ne beka sansem we. Guess who? Guess who? Guess who? Dr. Mary Awusi. Correct for 10 points. On a net tenechi. Emma nebe kan sansem we. Nanka. Odi ka wuyi nkrofo a omo support again ma nebe kan sa no. Kamane ka wuyi wanimu di a abete ho an kamane nye wo pe. Wa mananso ho. In her statement on TVXYZ, on to Dr. Mary Awusi na the okase she's going to deal with the Pentecost church. Was a complicated businessman Ibrahim Mahama, a brother of the president of the land, or complicating we issue. Since some again better than the officer kind on that faithful day, no wedding. And they even feared for her life. And you all know that didn't call Ibrahim Mahama ho, Emma Ibrahim Mahama pe baby man da sa enyumre and son of mo pelate or mo pe baby for from again aire akwa akoshe. Currently, this girl is a presidential staffer under the NDC. The same girl who out last hour no. Who's a party for no baby bu afu say another the girl we about that no abenya position wom. Do you know say one politics on politics. Oh yeah, what adwin say obekọ down that trench na. O say we ruthless. E was say we politics will turn you into a different person altogether. Politics it will turn you into a different person altogether. Like altogether. Or who's a party for any brain a question say ɛno na ɔba bɛtena abɔnten na ɔcomplicate Ibrahim Mahama ɔcomplicate Fifi Kwete kyɛ sɛ NDC for complicate ɔmo wɔ saa nsɛm was it another slip and I lose talk na meanwhile the same Ibrahim Mahama in his statement in 2018 kyerɛ sɛ ɔno sɛ yɛkasa nkurɔfoɔ ma ne yie pa yɛ MPP aban ɛyɛ President John Agyekum Kufuor anna ma ne yie onya sika kɛseɛ pa. I can read the story for you. I say, and this is on one case. Also, Mr. Muhammad the bank claims that he was successful because of his brother serving the highest office of the land. I say, I was who I was before John Mahama picked forms to contest for the MPP, to contest for MP. A lot more of the MPP know this. Now he goes on to say, I became successful much more in Kufuor's government, that is 2001 to 2008 time, because I had nobody. Statement. I had nobody hanging around my neck. I rather regret when my brother became vice president. I became successful much more in Kufuor's government between 2001 and 2008 because I had nobody hanging around my neck. I rather regret when my brother became vice president. That's Mr. Mahama speaking to graduates of the University of Ghana on how he became successful. And that is in 2018, Grasak Entrepreneurship Seminar. And o can't say we ho. Also, when you do MPP amemu. Now, if there's something going on within the MPP, now because this lady is a mo, she's a professional mo. Or call MPP for or call picking information free on or they buy NDC for aswe. Last hour, Edibegu Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia Mufi or be saying complete. Ewa bonting. Because apart from ansema amanfo nyina kan so obi free wakache ankasa ba ebe kan a different conversation altogether. A different komo. Opa amazisi e amanfo nkan bo abonten na slim we say or slim or kronfo or we obi anji ndi kopem say obi be free street is watching ase akwa kire na obi be free mebusu e makwa a different conversation. Mebo akache me say mebo a professional Mo, a double agent. Opie muno, Dr. Mary Awusi na dene baye. And do not, once again, I'm going to borrow this term. What the men fem free me ho. What the me video no. Na fi yenhwe asema Dr. Mary Awusi kan ene nkrofo o complicate omo ewo mu. Yenhwe.
Me can't say to webinar media so it's about Rosemont appointment. And he said, for a Casawa home. Mr. Munya Apotre. Some of these appointments, name the rationale behind it. Yes. An appointing authority. Rosemont girl, no. And son of a Babon, Tia granting interviews. My office no be the bar first. I remember. Wow. I remember you called me on that day. When I didn't buy, that was on the 3rd December 2024. Now, me and Kasa 4 days to election. After 8 years in opposition, now you are so desperate to save Ghana. Yeah. I asked her this question: are you sure you want to do this? Was Madam said, "My life you be kumi krana." Wow. Change of power bar. Na Baumia pa be president. It mean the secretary. What you say? Wow. Men am a girl no platforms, media platforms was starting your kasai. Now and some now was starting share go me office where you go buy no. O kasa na me ho popo. Na me suro nsam ni bi. Because na me suro ma no. Na me suro nsam ni bi na life. Enti that day now we buy ya obeka ansam ni chem mama na nda ni fie. Men am ya arrangements man ko hu. Your brother Ibrahim Mahama. Wow. Ibrahim Mahama na pay baby man try because now we were so scared to say, what's the MPP na not way keep it rootless. What you say? Rootless. It is I get away. A new man what in a life I am. Yeah, man a ministerial appointment. That's presidential staff. Presidential staff. For all you know, because a new office. Oh. Most of the presidential staff they don't even have their own offices. That's true. Intimate ye nyina ye chobo baby no chobo ne bi die risky bi manipa what you say you don't sa kola we say enyoma wo ye me say me na me start man platform me the same Mugabe who come me refin come
she came here, we all listened.
Ni fane de ne ba me office no. I thought maybe MPP for asoma so me raim. Na ebi a o me pay ye meme ibi ni o mo nkode dan ko twitwa the naked pictures in Fema Point. You know, we had that information said during the election time no. Na MPP 4 years an your man. Into obaye no. Na me hwe no with 2 eyes.
Check the date on the flyer.
What you say? Into obaye no. It took her about 3 meetings for her to be able to convince me before I remember
3rd December. Rosemond Obin, former National TESCOM coordinator, and PA to Dr. Baumia campaign office.
National assistant.
Wow, 1-on-1 with Mugabe. That was 30.
And you might get ratio good from any information our them my
A boy. Now my office is going to me respond.
Now my office and to me respond
to any of this.
A boy want to say they are slappy will be say no money super
be a deep.
Let somebody be a deep. And money be a why and to me for ninja.
Yeah.
Social media.
Check my messages to you on that day when I was telling you that.
What you say?
You just slow down. Because the answers, yeah.
Mastremo. Ebi o your newcomer. Benny information on the bar last minute no.
Boy. In a Kelly game no kura.
A Kelly game no.
Yeah. You holding it to say yen bar.
Wa ba yen fa no. Yen gino. Sa na ye gini pa. Yen gino. Ye yen ne sa nso a ebe ma afofo.
Yeah.
Ebe attracting kofo abeka ye ho. Na enye easy. Oni kunu. Oni ne sister ketwa ba ko pese. E na neti. Enti the day a oba me ho no me se a che me ne ye 3 meetings. Ansa na me ye convinced say why ready say ope Bible ntia be ye de oye. Even it took the intervention of Yankasa General Secretary, Honorable Fifikwete.
Yeah.
You know the role she played. Even
what you say
was very short.
I know convince him say okay, let's give her the opportunity. So I ready so be out. Aba candy or person Canada. I am man a platform. And so na me ti ase kra start a man media platforms. And you more what be brave no. Enye ni nyina de ba abon ti. Ye de bi ye adwuma. Enti memu hu ne say oba last minute. Your uncophobia or why, or more last minute.
Better late than never.
Nenso nensema wa de ba ye no. Na ebia na emu na ebwa. In his own wisdom, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. De bia meka.
Onya appointment
kwa.
Say Dr. Kalisto say now no bujolo.
What you say? Onya appointment kwa. Ebia wo de ma ye no nkyere se won kai wa na say oni de wo betimi aye. But there are some appointments or ye no strategic.
Yeah. It's important.
So if you wunya akwanya na natena se a no wa kire wo die ntia or yes appointment na
ebia obi kwa da social office bia wunim die ntia
ebia na obi kwa so she ba bia wunim die ntia wo hye ho enye chobo nkwa na win elections
Dabi
it's far from that enye chobo hey enye no nkwa na de win elections ente bia wutimi tie mu kese chobo ya nse there are more to that choboy before you can win elections. To me, the massimo baby, the American NDC for community and say, especially with various institutions. One more expectations from government appointees is too much. Mrafom, na mumma your time that you be deliver. We will make you proud. Me can't say webinar media so it's about Rosemond appointment.
That's it. Rosemond appointment, you know. And one sensem Dr. Mary Awusi ne kofa bae. Na okofa sansem ni nyina ba be tu dwa no na chese. On the onu ogidi say ordinary ba out na ye but in bringing the information out or complicate you obi asa aka. Na jojo mo twa hene. The last video that I want to play Chief of Staff Julius Debra ni statement I will make ya na osu na maka samache daddy kakra say daddy nipa na wo ko ama na apatra is I mean it's in line na adwuma because aban adwuma fu nyina on na for mo adwuma so ti ase kase chief of staff they are aban staff ni nyina no wo na for mo adwuma nti say o staff bi di 77 kwase asema wo na wo say we dey we take the blame nti for another me jitum say it was in line so be patch in the presence of Apostle Eric Nyameche. But to cry and say it was a slip no in the mama who near Dr. Mary Awusi na ankasa timi ye. nti enye slip or she's on a trajectory ade a oye o kasa o complicate amanfo kofa amanfo de o mbe wurawura mu a hu hia Dr. Ibrahim Friends Ibrahim Mahama we wo pede wo fifi kwete wo pede wo asem we a wakoka ko complicate o mu nyina o mu pede wo information ba ko abementi se wo bebubo obi a din di obi akose yemu adai me ahwe chief of staff abra o pacho Pentecost asore na chewo ne Apostle Eric Nyame chacho bo video ni yanko.
The chairman of our church, you know, myself, Honorable Elder Ofusuampofo, our local government minister, and several others are members of your church. A few days ago, one of our colleagues, Dr. Mary Awusi, slipped a bit against you. And I want on this occasion to commemorate my birthday, to let the whole church forgive us. It was just a slip. It wasn't intentionally done to malign our church. I believe sincerely that you forgive her and forgive us and accept us as your children. God richly bless all of you.
Obwa nyano kre hi nyano kre emfa o sede mpesa mo ye na emfa sede mpesa mo kire na emfa nyano kre minyini su ni minyini hi minyini o minyini Dabi. Ba papa we nso aka so pesu pa o daddy pesu. O ana daddy we dey Mr. Daddy Mr. Said the NDC or mu amanfo opposition to be the next president and presidential candidate for the NDC no. Esu ne ya do so do. Amanfo aye na compilation kakra bi o ase so betime di atuma. What the member sound no dey videos ne keke and dechire na men kasa video bia se chama su kakra video bia wo bia se chama isu meboa hi emfa ne compilation ne doso do chama isu too much. Ana ompe space nimu yetum ana meboa still na mgo mobile power how many years ni NDC ba power say 2 years ni meboa as NDC for no sundodo Musumbium dia ye can say format o muni mo ga travel boys no me say format bi na mpesa mo the fast system no munyai enu ti na mo ye mema no mo ye senior man for daddy pa na imagine our 60th birthday obi o work at this ankwase asem say enya no asa o frɛ na tia no obi a wo be wo so chest asem as be man na wo reacting you do 3 seconds be anawusu am for see you very compassionate or you passionate man you be as odonipa ti ase na chama enu ti na wo se panyini asem ba no asra solve so ne de chama ya do so do man kana meboa daddy we jai su na be boa nyina why srem a se on be ka se wo soft wo too soft wo edru so se wo be run for yina flag bearer chef no because we too soft to be any obesu now because we win election the crowd obesu daddy we dey me kan kure na wum na kire o mesre o jai su no why but sad day we dey ni say usu kra sasem we dey enye su baako nipa wuye usu nipa 8 ni wuye usu yeah cool nice nipa na ahwe mo we wahwe ni bibi nipa ono timi complicate party no time bia no wo say su ano Daddy. Hi, Emfa. Yankwe.
You don't know these streets like we do.